Hello, and welcome back to Good Chicken Teaching Resources. Today we're going to do part 2 of our Google Classroom for Beginners, and here we're going to go into a little bit more detail about how to post assignments. All right, so I'm going to start out by creating a new topic. And I am going to put Unit 1. Because that's how I personally like to organize my Google Classroom. I like to group information by units. All right, my classroom materials, as you can see, pop down below Unit 1 because, again, Google Classroom puts the most recent thing at the top. I like to keep my classroom materials at the top, so that means every time I create a new topic, I'm going to have to move my classroom materials back to the top of my stream. It only takes a couple seconds because it's just that really quick clicking drag. All right, so here's my Unit 1, and let's start populating some different assignments. All right, I'm going to go up here to Create, and I'm going to go to Assignment. All right, so again, I'm going to go to Add. You have some different options in the Add. You can go from Google Drive, which is what I find the easiest and the one I use the most frequently because I tend to create my assignments in Google Docs or Sheets or Slides, and they're saved in my Drive, and I can do that. You can link to another website. So if you're using something like CommonLit or ReadWorks and you want to direct your kids there, you can use that link. You can attach a file from your computer, or you can attach a YouTube video. Sometimes I will attach a instructional YouTube video to help them with an assignment, or if it's one we watched as notes over the topic, I'll go ahead and attach it to the assignment so they can review it on their own if they need it. All right, so I'm just going to go to Google Drive. And this first one I'm doing is going to be a very simple Word doc assignment. So I'm going to click on it, Assignment 1. I am going to type that in, Assignment 1. Then you type in your instructions. Normally, I ask them to write and complete sentences. All right. And then I'm going to go over here where it says students can view file. I want them to be able to actually type in this, but I don't want them all typing in one. So I'm going to look at my options, and this says make a copy for each student. So I'm going to make a copy for each student. And that way they have their own copy of the assignment and they can type in it without messing up my original. You can just make it view only if it's something like a story you want them to read, or if you want it to be collaborative, you can make it where anyone can edit it. So for example, sometimes I do Google Slide projects where we're all working in the same Google Slide show. When we get done, we're going to have one long presentation, but every kid is responsible for creating their own slide. So that's when I might make it where anyone can edit it. All right, and then over here you have your options. Again, you can select what class you're going to put it in. You can select all students, or you can select certain students, how many points it's worth. You can even do ungraded if it's just something that's participatory. You can select your due date. Let me move my picture over. Okay. You can select due date. So you can select the date you want it due and even the time. Down here in topic, we're going to put this in Unit 1 since it's part of there. If you have a rubric you want to collect, you can do that. If it is a longer writing assignment, you can click this one to get an originality report. So that checks for things like copy and pasting and plagiarism. All right, then up here, I have some options. I have assign, schedule, save as draft. So if you're not sure you're done with it, and you don't want to post it yet, you can just save it and come back to it, or discard draft. We're not going to use it. We're going to delete it. I am going to show you how to schedule because I like to schedule my assignments. Normally what I do when I'm lesson planning is I sit down and I create all my Google Classroom assignments and materials the week before, and then I schedule them to post the morning that we're going to use them. And that way I don't have to worry about doing it midweek. So I have this, it's defaults normally to the next weekday at 8 a.m., which happens to be when I want to submit this one. So I'm going to hit schedule, but I could also go up here, change the date, or maybe my school starts earlier than 8 o'clock. So I can go in and I can put 7:30 and then hit schedule. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here you can see Unit 1, Assignment 1, it's grayed out, and it shows you it's scheduled for June 1st at 7:30 a.m. All right, now I want to show you how to add a quiz assignment. So I'm going to go to quiz assignment here, and you notice it has a blank quiz form here. You can click on that and make your quiz, or you can close it, go to add, go to your drive, and if you already have your quiz made, which I do, there it is, I can put it in, and I'm going to call this my color quiz. Please complete the attached quiz. If you're going to give this quiz in class, on Chromebooks, you have the option to turn on lock mode. And what that means is that it will not, if they're on a school ran Chromebook, it will not let them open any other pages. They only have access to the quiz for that mode. Also, I'm pretty sure if you have it on lock mode and they try to access it on another device, it's not going to let them do it. All right, I'm going to move my picture again. Sorry, I know I'm popping all over the screen, but it's hard to show y'all everything and stay in one place. And then you have this option down here called grade importing. It's on automatically. To turn it off, you switch it. But I want to keep it on. And the great thing about grade importing is it means you don't have to go in and look at their form results. As long as it's all multiple choice or matching and you've put in the answers on Google Forms, you won't have to go look at the form itself if you use grade importing. In order to use grade importing, though, you cannot have any other attachments on this assignment. You can only have the Google Form attachment on it. So if you have other materials that go along with the quiz, you're going to have to post in a separate thing if you still want to use grade importing. Again, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to look at, these are students I want. That's the grade point values I want. The due date, I'm going to make the due date the 1st. I'm going to leave the time blank. That defaults to midnight. If you don't put in the time, it doesn't show it as missing till midnight that night. And I'm going to put it in Unit 1. And this time, I am just going to flat out assign it. I'm not going to schedule it. I want them to be able to access it now. So you can see, here's that quiz I just posted, and it's blue because they can access it now. It's not grayed out. We have it. All right, a few other things you can do. You can post materials. So they're not going to be able to do anything with these materials. You're just putting them in there. So notes. Here are the notes from class today. Again, I'm going to do add. You could create a document straight from Google Classroom. Again, I like to add it from my drive. I like to already have everything made when I go to post. And I'm going to go to drive. And I'm going to go through my library. I'm not seeing what I want, so I'm going to go to my drive. I'm going to, I think that's the one I want. There's my Google Slides. It will automatically make it where it's just view only when it's in materials. I'm going to put in Unit 1. And again, you have options. You can save as a draft, you can schedule it, or you can post it now. I'm going to go ahead and post this one now. I'm a big believer in posting your notes on Google Classroom. I know some teachers aren't necessarily thrilled with that because then what gives the kids incentives to take notes in class? Well, there's other ways you can handle that. But by posting your notes, if your kid is absent, it's easier for them to get that information. Sometimes kids just, even when they do take notes, they need to go back and look. It helps them. It covers any IEPs that require you to provide copies of the notes. Unless it says the notes have to be a hard copy. Most of my kids, their IEP doesn't specify that it has to be hard copy, and they prefer to have it digitally because they're just going to lose the hard copy, and they know they're going to lose it. And this way they have access to it always. And also, we live in a day and age where when these kids go to college, there's a good chance if their professors use PowerPoints, they're going to post them online. I know when I was taking my undergrad, now 12 years ago, all my professors who used PowerPoint, especially big lecture hall classes, they posted all their PowerPoints to Blackboard, which was the online thing we used. So that is the reality for our kids now. We need to be willing to roll with that as elementary and secondary teachers. Okay, last thing I want to show y'all is you can also create a question. And you can create a multiple choice question or a short answer question. I'm going to create a multiple choice one. Which animal do you prefer? And then I'm going to put in my answers. Dogs versus cats, the age-old thing. I'm going to not put a due date on this one, but I am going to go ahead and put it in Unit 1. You don't have to do a due date if you don't want to. And this, students can see class summary. That means as the students start to answer the question, after they answer it, they'll see a pie chart that shows what their other classmates have answered so far. So it's kind of a cool way to do a survey of your class. I would probably make this an ungraded assignment. We would probably then do something with the chart when we got to class. If it's a short answer question, you can also show it where the kids can see their answers. So like when we're picking research topics, I have kids sign up using a question for the topics they're going to do, and then the other kids can see what has been taken already. And then I'm just going to put ask, and it's going to show up right there. All right, so that is how you assign assignments onto Google Classroom. I hope y'all found this helpful. If you are interested in any other Google Classroom tutorials in the future, please let me know. This is probably my favorite tool that I've ever used in my classroom. I just love it because it helps keep you organized. It helps students stay organized. They're less likely to lose assignments and class materials, and it's a great, very powerful tool. Please subscribe for more from Good Chicken Teaching Resources, and remember to check us out on Facebook, Pinterest, Teachers Pay Teachers, and we have also started a blog, and those links are down below. Thank you.